Okay, sound is on. Now, others. Okay, everything's on. All right. All right, welcome. Welcome to Osnaburg Township Trustee meeting on May 12th. We'll start the meeting at 7:31. I'd like to call to order. Would you please stand for a pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this group of folks to gather and do the work for the community. And we just ask that you watch over all of our staff and all of our residents in township, and especially the kids that are getting out here of school for the summer. We just ask you to keep them safe. It's in your name. Amen. All right, approval of the agenda minutes, or the approved agenda for tonight. Any changes?
None for me.
Okay. All right, moving right along then. Brian, do you have any agenda changes?
No, I'm good.
Nope. Oh, thank you. Okay, great. Okay, approval of the meeting minutes for Monday, 4/28.
Trustee Peter moves to accept them as presented.
Trustee Griffith seconds.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I might have a treasurer's report on there.
Oh, that's fine. Yep, I see it here. Approval of the treasurer's report.
Trustee Griffith moves to approve it as presented.
Trustee Peter seconds.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving along to public speaks. Justin, hi, thanks for coming. If you could just state your name and your address for us to the microphone, just so we have it for record.
My name's Justin Ridley, I live at 2811 17th Street.
Thank you.
He's got a problem over there that, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
The guy's got a camera mounted on his fence now directly at his house.
Well, it's down the street, so he monitors me and my family coming and going. I fought it in court. There is a mediation agreement in court with him. He has put cameras up facing my house. He's put cameras up on another property facing my backyard. The court has told him that he can't have cameras up. At this point now, the camera on the fence is facing down a public road, so there isn't much that the court technically can do because it's a public road. Now, I'm the only one that lives on that public road. And the previous history of everything going on, of him stalking my family, now I have 2 little children as well. It's kind of concerning to my family that I can't come and go without somebody knowing when I'm home or when I'm not home. I understand everybody's right to have surveillance and protection of their own property, but that to me is not protecting your property because you do not have access from that street. So why I'm here today is to ask what the rules are on putting some landscaping on the easement. My thought for putting some landscaping is to put some bushes or something like that. Only that will get 8-10 foot tall, nothing that will interfere with the power lines, the cable lines. Understanding that utilities have the right of way there. As far as power, there is no underground utilities there. But I will gladly oops it before I dig if that's what you guys would like. Make sure there is nothing. But I do not have any underground utilities to my facility, my residence. So I don't know what your guys' thoughts are.
Can you bring it up on the screen there?
He does not mow that now, to where you guys now have to come up there to mow his side of the easement, because he does not maintain that.
I got a couple of quick questions.
Sure.
This is just for my clarity's sake, really, more than anything. Is the camera facing on the fence toward Broadway or on the fence towards your house?
Towards Broadway.
Okay, so it's on the fence facing so down 17th.
Yes.
The short run that is 17th. Okay. And then when we had when the surveyors were out this last time, which has been a little while ago, did they drop pins all the way to Broadway? Like, do we know
Well, I
what
don't
the
think
true?
they did anything out
He
on
still
the,
has a couple right-of-way stakes there.
they did it where the roadway is.
Okay,
They did the edge of the easement there.
so we know what the edge of the roadway is?
Yes.
Okay. And do you, I mean, just off the top of your head, is there edge of roadway on 17th and then a bit of grass and then the fence that was put up? Is there some space between?
There is a space between. I would
If you
say-
could guess it, 2 feet,
Probably.
6 feet, 10 feet?
No, I would say it's about 4 feet, but it goes at a skew or an angle. So
Okay,
as you get towards the back of his property, towards the end of 17th, it gets narrower.
Okay.
As you come out towards Broadway.
it gets wider.
Wider there.
Okay,
But, which is opposite of what your roadway actually is. Your roadway is skinny up towards Broadway, and as it goes back, it gets wider there, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
So there's more grass space there that he's not maintaining anymore. Which you-
so he's not mowing on your side of the fence?
Yes.
Okay.
He mows one strip on the edge of his fence, and then he lays the rest.
Got it.
Which last year was the first year you guys had to come down and flail all that. Which is kind of out of your way to have a mower come
What
up
is
there.
that? What's that?
Address is
Yeah, just-
2811 17th.
That's
So
what
look
I mean.
up 2811 Broadway,
Yeah.
it might be easier.
Yeah.
Broadway's on the alley address.
There you go.
So-
There's the GIS. Okay. It's under your impression that you're thinking about trying to plant some foliage in between the Cinder Road and the current fence, so north of 17th.
Correct.
Okay.
So, and I wouldn't go,
Enlarge it back up a little bit, Brian.
A little bit more.
Yeah, a little
You go,
more.
Justin, right
So-
in there.
There you go. Now just scroll up.
down just
There you go.
That's fine.
Perfect.
So right now that camera, see the corner of the fence here? That camera is sitting on that fence, angled right down this way. So I do a lot of research. To know if a camera's working or not, cameras work off of infrared. The human eye can't see infrared light. This little gadget right here, when you take a recording, shows infrared light. So I have a video, when I pull down here, that camera turns on right here for the rest of my drive to my house.
Do you think it's a trail cam or something?
No, it's mounted to his house, to a hub and everything. It's got
Okay.
Wi-Fi hooked to it. Because he's got other cameras on his property, which rightfully so. You're allowed to absolutely monitor your house. But previous times, he had a camera on the porch here. Court ordered him to remove it. Before the fence was up, he had a truck parked here. He put a camera on the ball of the truck facing my front door of my house. I couldn't walk in or out of my house without being monitored. With my wife and my 2 children. Now, I have 2 little girls that are 4 and 2. It's very concerning to know that somebody is stalking my family. Then he decided that he was going to put a camera up on this tree here, which is not his property, facing into my backyard. There were some ultimatums made with the sheriff's department that day. It was removed very quickly. He then, after we were in court, came home, fence up, everything like that, court ordered that he had to remove the cameras that couldn't face my property. He tried to put one in the window of this little shed here, facing back into my property again, which then he got caught doing that, so he removed it. Now he decides to put one on the corner of the fence, monitoring this, which I am the only house that lives on that road.
When he put the fence up, so he's not accessing that either.
He cannot access from over there unless he cuts through his property. Now, he has tried to plant his own trees through this area here. They all did not make it, or they're trying to survive. I don't know what happened, but some of them are trying to green back up. My issue with that is once they do grow, great, I have a wall, I don't have to look at you. The camera is on the backside of everything that he planted. So he still would be able to monitor if his plants all took a grow.
No, I see you.
They would still be able to monitor.
Is his fence sitting on the line then?
This is his property. This is really close to his property line, what I'm looking at now, what I know is property.
Okay,
This is my concern with Michonne that quit contacting me and talking to me. They have right in their zoning that a fence is to be 10 foot off of a roadway. That is not 10 foot off of a roadway. They're also commercial property adjacent to a residential property. It's
Yeah.
supposed to have a 50-foot setback for I appeal, and, you know.
The only other thing would be is, and I don't know, I'm not saying this happened, but they could have gave him a variance.
Yeah, they could have.
They would have had to file for it.
Yeah, they
didn't file for it. I got a public record request of everything.
I'm just saying, I'm just throwing everything out there.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
But I do have a public record request of this property. I have everything that he's ever done for the township.
And if they would have went through the variance, they would have had to notify you.
Yeah, you would have to have notified because you're adjacent parcel.
And he did not do that.
So where are
Yeah.
you wanting to plant the
So
shrubbery?
I would like, at a bare minimum, to do this, and I believe, and I can't confirm, there's a window here, and I think he had a camera in the window that he removed after he caught me looking at it, which still faces the front of my house. But I would like to do the shrubbery down this area here to about here, just to block that camera from monitoring me coming and going.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna come all the way down, because this
Yeah.
gets narrow here, which then would start
Yeah,
interfering with this
sure.
property.
Yeah.
Which then I think, at that point, if you allow me to do that, I would happily mow this area here and maintain all this grass that's all through here that he does not mow and take care of.
Is that legally ours? Because I thought if we was to,
Is that county
It
property?
I thought it got split.
Well, see, that's where it gets interesting, because this is only 25 feet. Normally, there's 50. So whenever this was laid out, Nimishon never gave their portion.
They never gave their 25.
They claim this half split, but that's because usually it's a 50-foot right of way. You got 25 to one and 25 to the other.
Okay.
But that's not the scenario on this is the only one over there that's 25 feet. Everything else is 50.
I thought the split was only if we tried to give the road back.
Well, that's right, but what I'm saying is
When they laid this out.
there should have been 50 foot.
And that's why they split it, from my understanding, is why they split it, is because usually both sides would give
The-
it 25 feet, so they would give it back.
If you scroll out, you'll see the other paper roads on this are all
If that's the
50
case, they
foot.
should have been helping us take care of the road.
I'm just
Yeah,
trying to get to
hold on,
the
yeah,
other part.
We're having a bigger
Yeah.
spot.
I know.
See, your road right away should have been clear up here.
Sure, all right.
Right,
This distance should be doubled.
Sure.
This is the only one over there that's that narrow. Everything else is 50 foot on paper. Paper, whether it exists or doesn't exist.
So our Osnaburg Township line, is it, what
Right
line?
here.
That is our
That
Osnaburg
is it.
Township
That's it.
line.
That's the line.
So they claim
That's why-
that it's split, but
Why it continues through here, because this is the line for Osnaburg, continuing this way.
if it came down to it, I don't think this would get split. I'll bet it wouldn't, if it went to court, because they never gave up their portion. Now that would be determined through a court.
Right.
But like I said, when you go down and scroll down, he's going down, here's 16,
And that's 50
Yeah.
feet.
that's 50 foot.
And every other road's 50 foot, even,
Yeah, that one is too.
even 15's 50 foot.
Yep.
And that 25 foot follows all the way.
It always, all the way over. If you go to the left, it goes down. It doesn't widen. It
Yeah,
goes
it's
all the way
only
over.
one, it's the only one, everything else is 50, I don't know why that, because Nimishon would.
Because Nimishon didn't give 50, yeah. That's why. They went to the property line and,
It's almost 100 years ago when that was laid out.
Yeah.
Plant the bushes.
I was saying, it's my opinion that if you can plant the bushes, plant the bushes. I don't know, who would we ask? Or do we,
Well, I don't know what you're planning. I'm not opposed to having to plant.
Mhm.
But if some court case comes back through and it says you can't do that,
You'd have to.
you have to take it back out.
And remove, or cut them down and remove.
Okay.
I would be fine with that. And the understanding that, there's a utility line, this power line comes back, cable line comes back, it splits off, of this pole goes to him, splits off, that pole goes to me. I don't wanna lose power, so I'm gonna keep, the arborvitae that I'm looking at, they stay green all year round. They're self-maintained. They only get 8 to 10 foot tall.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna go to the power
Yeah.
lines, I'm not gonna plant anything
Yeah.
that's gonna go up there and obstruct those and make the power company come down and cut them, or potentially a storm lose, take.
Are you
myself
going
out.
back on the other side of that?
I would personally, it's up to you guys, I would love to start planting from here and plant them all the way down into here and block all of that. Because
I don't see anything that's gonna affect.
I don't think it matters if you plant them there or plant them down there, it doesn't matter.
His biggest risk
Doesn't
would be
change
is if we were complaining about it and it's not,
Yep.
I mean, it's no different.
Well, at this point, that's never gonna be a road. It's just not.
What?
We're never gonna develop that into, because there's no way you can get 50 foot now.
Yeah, Nimishon's never
Well,
given us the other half.
the end
no.
goal here is to eliminate the back part 17.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and
Just give
That's
access
gonna-
as a drive.
that's gonna happen.
So I'm fine with it, because it's not, as far as the township's concerned, you're not causing any harm to any of our township residents.
Right.
You're not affecting anything, it's not blocking, it's not gonna block anything that our road crew would be doing.
No. He lets us come back the driveway and turn around back here,
Yeah,
past the house.
Justin,
We need to go back out.
on a separate note, since you're standing here and we've talked about this before,
Sure.
is your neighbor finding a way back to that other property? Are they going to that other parcel?
He has a couple times.
Okay.
And I did have the sheriff's out.
Okay,
And,
he's trying to go this way.
So
does the
He
does
did
the
very
farmer
smart.
allow him to access it through his
the
field?
farmer says no. The farmer doesn't want a road. The farmer doesn't.
Well,
want
he
an
doesn't
extension
have
of
to.
a road.
You see how it goes through the trees?
Yeah,
So he started out by he walked this way, and then out of spite, claiming that that's public road, that he decided to walk all the way over the edge after it was surveyed and come all the way back through there. So then I thought, okay, the next day.
Just remind me real quick, Justin, the two parcels, okay, the three are yours, 1, 2, 3,
Yeah, 1, 2, 3,
and then
mine,
those two.
4, 5.
And then he's the next one.
Then he's
Okay,
the
thank
next one, and then the
Okay,
next
go
one.
ahead.
So then he decided he was going to bring a skid steer from somewhere in this vicinity out, come down the road, come down here. Now I've mowed and maintained this to the edge of the farm field. It's grass past here. So he decided to bring the skid steer down, got to where all the woods is that I've cleaned to even make it that far, and start doing donuts here in my grass that I maintain, and then brush hog his way through and just bulldoze his way through with the skid steer. And do some
did he
work
take
back.
trees down?
He cut a bunch of brush and stuff down. There was a tree that fell in a storm that he was back there cutting. The only tree that I know of that he cut up was a tree that fell in a storm that was out into the farmer's property and actually landed on one of his
So he
property.
didn't cut any trees?
He didn't cut any trees. no.
Is it under your impression that he's trying to clear space for a building? I mean, that was the
For
original
something.
intent, the original intent, I'm sorry.
There's nothing.
Okay,
you can
I was
do.
just curious, since you were here, we've
So-
talked about it before, but I just wanted to
Since
see.
my lawyer
You
and his
can't
lawyer had
block
been in
them.
contact,
That's what they keep
he
telling us. That's why-
decided
that's
to
why
move
we need to
everything
eliminate
out.
it.
I have blocked
I know,
this,
but the
so he had to
trees,
go out
if
into
they're
the farm field to come back up into here to get rid of it. He's been down over the four-wheeler,
It's an
to
unmarked
collect his firewood from the tree cut.
But he's on the farmer's property now.
Unmaintained road.
Right, so
He doesn't own it, how can you
Since
go back
that
there and
time-
cut that down
Because,
and mow it?
because it's an unmaintained road,
So
so
since that
until
time-
something else changes.
Thank you, thanks for the update.
He can get access to cut, he could put his own road back there.
And I
So-
handed it over to the township.
Are we
Anybody
doing
could,
anything?
anyone that has
Do we need a motion
personal
for that?
touching it can.
We just
I
need
think
an
we can.
agreement
That's why, once I get to the right person, and we get things moving,
To allow-
then we want
to
to put
allow
a freeze,
residents
so
to
nothing can happen.
on the
up
north side of
there. Because
17th.
it's gonna disappear after this
All right.
happens down here.
We're gonna,
Trustee Varian makes a motion to allow Justin Beedling to plant shrubs on the north side of 17th Street to provide privacy for his home.
Griffith seconds.
All those in favor?
All right.
Thank you.
With the understanding that if there's a legal case,
Sure.
we may,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I'll
I hope
work
not.
on that. I hope not either, but I'll work with you on that. If
Yep.
I gotta remove them, I gotta remove them. If
Okay,
I gotta come down, I'll cut them down.
all right.
So,
Sounds good.
they will not interfere with the road or the power. or-
Well, and like I said, if it goes into legal, then there's a whole ball wax. Like I said, you violated the fence, but
Okay.
I don't know if you want the fence to come down though
No.
either.
No, absolutely.
I'm not mad about the fence. I'm not.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
All right, hey, thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it very much. All right, seeing no other public speaks, we'll move on to fire.
Okay, so a few things. I sent a quote over to, for 3 small SCBA masks. Currently our quotes are in mediums and they're just a little bit too big for them, and for safety purposes, we should get a mask that fits the face properly.
You said we do have a quote on that?
Yes, from MES. Over. So $1,095.
Okay, yes.
And they are a vendor.
MES,
Yes.
$1,095.
While they're working on that, can I ask, did they repair the siding on the building?
Sure.
I don't know that they, I
Seen them there.
don't know that they went out yet.
I think you did because I got the bill
Did you get
and
a
I
bill?
saw,
Yeah.
I saw the gable on this side was done.
Oh, then they're done.
Well,
They were
it
gonna
looked
do it
like
on
a
Monday.
piece of brown at that point. Did they not put the,
Oh, that's a vent.
There's a vent.
Oh,
on
it's a
it.
vent?
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
a
Okay.
vent.
vent.
That's
up
the
there.
ridge vent.
But it looked like the east side was done and I got a bill and remember you guys made your motion for up to $700. It only was $500.
Okay. I called him after the meeting and all 3 spots were in that quote. It didn't state that, but we made it a little bit more because we were worried that 3rd spot wasn't in there, but. Oh, $1,095.
All right.
So yeah, so that,
Yeah,
those,
you're right.
those ends are fixed. So we have funds for that. Okay. Trustee Barry moves to pay MES, $1,095, shipping is included. Okay. $1,095 for 3 small SBA masks.
Griffith seconds?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Barry.
I'm gonna give this original copy to Brian.
Okay.
Okay.
The letter of hardship, Assistant Chief Parker received a letter from a resident, about the ambulance bill.
Our office received that and I already responded that with the hardship, when somebody asks that, we always work with them, but we did ask for payments.
Payments?
Yes, we asked for payments. When I started here, I saw that in Sockville, and a lot of times that did happen to somebody in a hardship. And when I talked to Ohio Billing, they said, it's kind of good to get a little something, so that we were getting like $10 and $20 a month payments. And then it's up to the trustees if they want to waive something after so many years. They can say, hey, the balance is 500, we'll waive it because you've been good on it. You guys make that decision, but they suggested not waiving that whole 900 and some dollars because they might open a can of worms up that everybody that's.
Was this not a resident?
No, it's a non-resident.
Oh, it's not.
It shows on my stuff as a non-resident.
Because our residents don't pay.
Yeah,
Residents
yeah.
don't pay.
It's a non-resident is what showed on the paperwork. They could have been a resident. I see that name is in our township. They could have been a resident at one time. Or a family member could be. in
So
our-
900 is their portion.
Yeah, 935. I don't
Was
have
it
it.
an auto accident? Or we don't know?
That was a medical call,
Medical call.
medical.
The reason we waive our resident fees is because they pay a levy for the services.
This wasn't a resident, it was a non-resident.
Okay.
It was a non-resident run.
So at this point, we've asked them to make payments and they agreed.
Well, it went to Ohio Billing, they draw it up, and
Okay.
I gave the suggestion of, even if it was $20 a month, some of them, I've been taking them ever since I became fiscal officer. We do that, and over 10 years, they pay it on.
Okay.
I
And
think
other
that's
one-
the route we should go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We don't need a motion. At this point, the office is handling it.
Usually,
Okay.
when that comes from Ohio Billing, and because of past resolutions and past history, unless it was something, let's say it was a resident staying somewhere or doing something that was a little bit different, I would say definitely you want to bring it in. Or if that resident came in front of the board and asked you, if he come in here and ask you, you could, maybe you make a call on it differently, but
Okay.
the call is Ohio Billing. They started those new forms and new request forms a few years back. And we've had 1 or 2 of them, but ever since we had that claim adjuster, or not claim adjuster, but that new company, the Ohio, well, I should say company, it's the state of Ohio, doing our collection, we haven't had any problems. It's amazing how quick that was when you get a letter from the state of Ohio saying we're gonna attach your taxes or anything, and they do all the legwork of tracking down people.
Okay. All right, we'll look back into that as we move along.
Yeah, if you hear anything else, Tom, something a resident comes in or something, I would definitely come in and talk to the board about
Yep.
that immediately.
Okay.
In case something
Numbers.
happens.
All right,
Got a new ambulance back last week.
great.
Things seem to be working properly.
Good.
Had to replace a backup camera and a module in the cab.
I assume it was all covered.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
And then the drinking fountain.
Okay, so there should have been email sent to everybody from K&K Plumbing for the cost of $26.50, which would be remove old water fountain, install new water cooler and bottle filler. The question was asked, what would the cooler be without the water filler? And you can remove $400. So it'd be 22
I
rather than
went out
26.
and Googled it just on Amazon, what's one of these water coolers? And there wasn't any of them that were over, they were all under 2,000. So why is this one so much more?
I don't know, installing it, removing the old, hooking up lines.
I mean, it just seemed, most of them out there were like 1,300, 1,400.
Yeah. If it's 1,400 and they're going to come out and do it for 1,000, that's fair. I mean, anymore, if you're not doubling your supplies, you're not charging enough. I mean,
It
that's,
just seems kind of steep, I think, but.
well, he's the only
But
guy.
the question is, do we really need, I can't hardly believe it's only $400 different for the bottle filler. I mean, that's kind of odd.
Well, the bottle filler is just the stainless steel and the spout. The compressor's all the same, the cooler's all the
Because if it's
same.
not that much different, then
Yeah.
it's worth doing the bottle filler.
But it's a drinking fountain and a bottle.
It's a hanging, wall hanging.
Do you
drinking
think
fountain.
anybody will drink? I mean, I understand the bottle filler,
Yeah.
which would be the same as a cup, but does anybody drink out of the fountain?
Yes, I've drank all the fountain.
Yeah, okay.
Does
I
the,
think that's standard. I don't.
Well, I mean, I didn't know if it'd be better just to have a spout and have like what they have in here.
does the fire department currently have any kind of?
Cups.
Just
Oh, sorry.
read that. It just seems.
No, well, not specifically this thing. I mean, can you eliminate the drinking fountain where you have a bottle filler and a thing of cups there, and if you want to drink, you get a cup. I don't know what the bottle filler looks like. I've never seen it. I don't
It's,
know.
you know how people use, like the
Yeah,
bottle he's
I
got
understand
there.
what they're-
You can set that on the fountain and it fills that up
Overflow.
for you. Then you can take it with you.
But that's separate. That's not the same thing where you're drinking out of it, is it?
No. No, it does have the little drinky thing on the side that squirts out.
So there's a wall mount bottle
And-
filler. So that's
See, you
so-
can set a bottle.
so that's the top of a standard drinking fountain. So that would be a standard drinking fountain, and then that would be the top of it, and you put your bottle under it and fill it. Does that make sense?
But could you
So it
fill
still
that?
hangs.
Well, look, that one's there. It's only $6.69.
That's what I'm saying. Would it be cheaper to do something like that and then have one of them cup things? Then if they want to drink, they
Well,
don't
that one
have
he's
a bottle.
showing there is what they're asking for.
So I have a question. Does the fire department currently have like a clear water drink? Like we get drinking water here, correct?
Yeah, from
Does-
Sand Rock. actually.
Does Sandrock, do we have that at the fire department or no?
No.
Okay,
Like
so
It's in Stu's office.
because there's no drinking. Okay, I wanted to ask that because we wouldn't want a water fountain with a bottle filler if around the corner is drinking water that's cooled. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So this is going to come out of the fountain cold because it's going to cool
Right.
the
Yeah,
water
it does.
rather than getting it out of the sink in the kitchen.
And I don't know anything about these, but you can see how much less that one there
And
is.
that's the top. So that's just the top, and so that's the bottom. So you have this is $1,100 if you buy that and that. Does that make sense? That's just the top part.
Yeah, and what was it on this quote?
$26.50.
Well, that's probably labor
Installation.
too.
Yeah, remove the old, install the new. I mean, we can get other quotes. He's the only guy that responded and sent me a quote.
Yeah.
Trustees, just to let you know, in the fire fund, with everything I got budgeted out of all the new money, like training, all the different things that we have that I have already slotted in that budget. There isn't a lot of wiggle room for a lot of these kind of decisions, but the soft billing, and I want to bring that up, that was always used for like special things, something you needed. Soft billing's part of the fire department, but there you have 119,000 that's unencumbered, and you have 32,000 unencumbered. So those two combined give you a cushion in
Yeah,
an
the soft
emergency.
billing is not paying as much payroll as it has in the past.
Because
That's why
in the
it's more in
past, I was eating all that up by using that to pay payroll.
I'm fine.
The problem
I
is,
mean, I understand where, but I just,
Yeah.
with the labor in there, I don't know that it's that far out.
If that's where you're taking it from, that's fine.
there. You want to take it out of soft billing?
I want the fire department to know, I'm trying not to use soft billing.
Yeah.
But when I wrote the budget for fire with the increases that we had in payroll, all those stuff, and training, I had like 10,000 in there, equipment, 10,000. Those things are nipping away, and I don't have a cushion. We're still early in the year. We're not halfway point. And I always am getting concerned that if we start going, yeah, then when it comes October, it's going to be no. And I don't want to do that if we can avoid it. But soft billing is healthy right now.
They have these Canton water there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that here.
All right, Trustee Varian moves to pay K&K Plumbing $2,650 to install a new water fountain at the fire department with a bottle filler.
Trustee Pierce, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I don't want to see a fire and all the firefighters out there thirsty.
Thirsty, that's right. That's right.
Figured out the hose.
Have we received the compressor yet?
Actually, I was giving Tyler the update. I don't know if Chief Ruskin had heard. It came in early.
Oh, okay.
It was supposed to be in May. I was at TSC today. What happened, because of tax exempt forms, they brought it in there. I couldn't get it delivered right from their manufacturer right to the fire station, but TSC is going to be bringing it to them. And I talked to Stu, talked to Tyler just tonight. I mentioned it to Amy when I was up there earlier. They're going to bring it. Stu's going to come with the fork, lift it off, slide it in there.
Great.
So it should be there. I think Tyler has all the air, what's those things called, Tyler?
Air dryers.
Yeah.
Air dryers, yeah.
Air dryers, all new, so we can put that all on. And I think you're doing that all in-house, right, Tyler?
Yep.
All right.
And you know there's an ACE account if you need a fitting or two.
Yeah.
Go get what you need.
Excellent.
Great. All right, anything else for fire?
It was just the runs, 29 calls since the last meeting.
Okay.
Mutual aid still, we had 110 in Michelle and 1 to Louisville. And then 1 from Louisville for a second patient.
Okay, great. One mutual aid to us. That's awesome.
And no brush fires anywhere, huh?
That's
Not since the last meeting. no.
good.
Do what?
That's great. Is the schedule, I mean, I assume with one mutual aid to us, the schedule looks pretty decent.
Oh, fabulous.
Good. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. All right. Anything else? Moving on for fire? Thank you very much. Thanks, Tyler, for being here. I appreciate it. Cemetery report.
Yeah, the cemeteries have all been mowed as of yesterday for leading up to Mother's Day there. So everything, or I shouldn't say yesterday, as of Saturday. Everything was mowed up to that date. And I don't really have anything else. We didn't have any opening, closing since the last meeting. We had those 2 prior to that. We had a cremation and a full size, but other than that, that's where we're at. I had talked to Jim and Ryan Shearer both, just said the funds are still not there. We'll be scraping to pay Jimmy when I get the bill for what he's done so far. So I know I appropriate the money, but there's always that budget of money has to come in a little bit.
Yeah.
You'll see
Yeah,
in
it comes down.
tonight's payout, we're paying that all-around property. He did the open and closing, the 400. There was a charge in there for the cremation open and closing of 150, but we did collect those monies too. So it kind of washes out and got a little extra there, but it's not enough to quite. I need about another couple $100 and I have enough to pay Jimmy 1 full mow. So
Okay.
it's tight.
Okay. All right, moving along the road.
Good evening, everybody. If the trustees have looked over the road report, is there any questions you'd like to ask?
Sir, are we using the old truck since we got the new truck?
Say that again?
The new dump truck, we're using it now, correct?
You said the old truck.
Well, are we using that any too?
No, we haven't used it yet. They went out and, I mean, we've been starting all of our Durapatching and everything. We're down one guy, so we really
Yeah.
don't have a lot of.
Well, the only reason I ask is
Use
because
of that,
sometimes
yeah.
if you let them sit for a long time, that's
We
not
took it
good.
out and drove it the other day just
Okay.
to make sure
You're
everything
keeping
was
it
working
Once in a
and
while.
there's no
Okay.
leaks
Put
now.
some fuel through it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, good.
we did last week. Rodney took it out and drove it around for probably 45 minutes to an hour, just to make sure everything was working on it right, and brought it back, and it doesn't seem like there's any more leaks back here on the hydraulics or anything. That's I think we got those all fixed.
Okay.
I did leave the message for Keith Bennett to get us an estimate on Belcourt, but I haven't heard back from him.
Okay. The motor for the boom mower, still haven't received it. Michelle from IHM has been going back and forth with the outfit we're supposed to get this from. And it hasn't been shipped yet.
Oh, wow.
They're working on it.
And
And
is it leaking or is it completely down?
it's down.
It's
Now
down.
the motor's off of it.
Okay.
It was leaking profusely.
Okay.
It was wore out. That's why we had to get a new one.
They have no estimate of time right now. All right, we may have.
I'm
we may
hoping
have
to hear
check-
something
we
back
may-
from her tomorrow.
I may make a couple calls and check and see if I can find somewhere else too. This ain't good. I mean, they gotta come up with some answers here.
I know.
to see.
I mean, Tiger had one, but
Oh, that's not.
way more stuff.
No, I know.
That's not-
I'm not saying go to
That's
Tiger,
not-
but I mean, I don't wanna be a month from now and
Oh, I know.
we're no farther.
She knows. I've been on the phone every day to her, telling her we need this thing.
So we'll do a little.
Bernie went out today with the flail mower and went up. I mean, we was getting a couple calls, people already starting to, complain a little bit. And so
That's
he
really
went
good.
up and did all the allotments east of 44. Because one of the calls came from the horseshoe there, Oakfield, Maple Brook. So he did that. He did Sunlight, Goshen, Slater. He did all those today. I don't know if he jumped over into Viking or not. There's not much in there on Viking and Valkyrie. Only one or two little spots there where people won't on the ditch.
Right. Okay.
I had a resident call me today to complain about lots and like the backside, when you get the other side of 44, that three-way, is it lots? I thought it was
What about
lots.
the three-way, Lots and Orchard View? That's a three-way stop.
Yes, that people keep running the stop sign.
Yeah.
Oh,
They blow through it.
that's nothing new.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
I know, I said I
You
did.
had the Mothman family? The Mothman
Ask
family?
Stu about that.
Yeah, I got $125 fines for rolling through that real slow.
Did you?
Groundhog hunting,
Years ago.
years
I
ago.
was gonna say, who caught you out there? But that was their
I mean, I
complaint.
crawled.
This is
Looking for
like Kevin Miller's barn and Cheryl.
Yeah.
He was parked up
Yeah,
against the barn.
Parker family. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
get
don't know
it.
that I've ever.
At that time, Andy and Cheryl's kids got on the bus,
Yeah, right.
and I don't blame them for worrying. The way them people fly
It's
through
somebody who
there,
drives through there
Does it-
coming to work and
or going home, they fly. I've almost been T-boned,
they said that all the
like pulling out to
time.
go home from
Okay.
work. People
Yeah,
come over that, think they ain't gonna stop, and I'm ready to
So-
pull out.
I have a question. If Orchard View goes through, why was it ever a three-way? Why doesn't Lots just have the only stop sign?
The way it was,
'Cause it's not blind.
the way it was back in the day, there was only a stop sign on lots coming south
Okay.
from Valley Road.
Okay.
And then Orchard View and lots the other directions kept going straight through.
Yep.
When they started to complain about people going so fast and everything, the next thing,
Oh, the
boom,
stop sign was to,
three-way went up.
the stop sign was to slow people down going down through that valley. I got you. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Well, since there's a three-way stop, I don't know what else we can do. There's not.
No, that's right.
There's nothing.
All you can do is try to get cops. I mean, Chris Newman's sat out there and nailed many people.
Okay.
Nailed many people flying through there.
Right.
That's the problem.
And the same way at lots in Mapleton. Terrible. That's where bad wrecks are all the time. We have one or two bad wrecks there every year.
And you don't, because it's not a blind intersection. They
It's
just
flying
must
there
not
a little
stop.
bit. They took the pine trees out, but people still fly right through it and T-bone somebody all the time. Oh, we did have a nice message left on Friday.
You need to break that up.
I know, I want a copy of that. Some lady from Westfall called and I thought I was getting ready to say, oh boy. But she was calling to commend us on what a nice job we did fixing all the potholes in that bad spot on the hill. And said how good we kept the roads in the wintertime. She has to go to work all the time. She says our roads are better than most any other roads around.
It's nice.
So that was a nice
Yeah,
thing.
is that
to
the
hear.
one side towards 44?
Yeah.
That's good.
It's nice,
Well, the whole-
nice
the whole
for him to
winter.
hear
We'll
that.
print that out, blow it up on a frame, give it to you for retirement. You can hang it on your wall at
Attaboy. So
Good.
we got out today and started on Parks from 172 heading north. But I had a problem with the Durapatcher. A hole blew out in the hose coming off the main tube underneath. About an 8-foot long hose. We have to get another one. I called our outfit that we used to get them off. I hear they sold out and kind of split the business. So this outfit, they sent us the tax form with Brian. I gave it to Brian this evening. McLean is the ones that took over the parts for the Durapatcher.
Is this a fitting hose?
It's a special post for them. They're different lengths and everything. I think it's around $460 for it, but I couldn't order it because I don't have an account set up with him yet. He's gonna take care of that. And
What's the total?
they said around 460, so I don't have anything besides
There'll
that.
probably be shipping on that, I think.
Right.
We should approve it
So
next
I would
week.
put
Trustee
down I'd-
to McLean,
McLean,
McLean.
McLean.
not to exceed $650 to repair the Durapatcher.
Yeah,
No.
Griffith seconds.
All those in favor?
All
Aye.
right.
So we got 650. Okay, great. So we'll get that hose as soon as we possibly can, because we gotta have that machine running.
Wednesday, we plan on going up for the meeting, COG meeting. So it'll be our last one. We gotta go this year too.
That'll be your
Just let you
second
know
one.
that.
But you can go to the other ones if you have something good going on, you know,
Well,
but you just have to do at least two.
it's supposed to be raining and everything, so
Yeah, it's
hopefully
probably
we'll just
rain
go
Wednesday.
get it out of the way and,
You know,
uh,
sign in.
Yeah, sign in.
and sign it. You gotta
Sure, you
sign
sign
in,
it.
they don't count it.
Don't count you.
So this meeting is the one that I believe they let us know what
They
the
should,
salt,
yeah,
the salt price is.
you should know what
Okay.
the salt price is.
Oh, we good knowledge to have.
That'll
Yeah.
help us out on making other decisions.
All right.
Anything else for road?
Here's the next
I feel like I'm forgetting something, but
one. From the back of Mary's.
Move on before he wants to buy
I
something.
know, move on for once to buy something. All right, if you think of it,
No.
all right, we're good to
that's
go.
it.
How about Mary for zoning?
Right. Since last meeting had one, ag extension issue. On the nuisance side of things, I reached out to the health department and the building department over on Indian Run. The
Oh.
building department, they plan to be out there sometime this week.
Oh,
About
good.
it. I sent them a couple pictures I had for it,
Great.
but,
Great.
so, once they do that, they'll probably let us know what they.
Next steps, great.
And health department, I just kind of asked what they need from us if we go ahead and tear it down. I haven't heard back yet, but
Okay.
should be soon. Over there on Georgetown where it meets 12th Street, that house there,
Mhm.
I found the other address for that.
Yeah,
So I sent a letter
Nassau
to
Street.
that one.
Yeah, good.
So hopefully they get it and do something about it, but I haven't seen it back, but it was just sent last week. Other than that, there's not much change. Next meeting is your hearing for the
Yes.
Route 44 overlay stuff.
Okay. All right, thank you. That was quick and easy, huh? We like that.
Um,
All right. How about old business? Seacoast Park grant.
I emailed you out the proposal from Hammond Tree,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to send that on to the Huntington Trust to see if they'll pay that bill for us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, if we prepay it, then we don't have to pay extra fees. So we want to prepay it.
Okay.
It'll save us a little bit.
Mhm.
And then once they do that, Hammond Tree and Flickinger Geoservices Group, then I'll meet Soil and Water out there with that report.
Okay.
So do we need a motion, Brian, to say we're sending that over to Huntington for payment?
I mean, you can make a motion that you're all agreeing to do this, and then we'll submit it to Phil. That way you got something, keep it all in motion.
Yeah, keep it in the file, keep it
That way,
in docs.
that way, if the first thing Phil may ask is, he'll say, was everyone in agreement to have this done? And
Okay.
the answer is gonna be yes, because it's part of getting the grant, all the steps of the grant taken care of.
All right, so I'll make a motion that we submit our bill of $1,200 to Hammond Tree Associates Limited for completing the environmental part of the state application. And then $6,800, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, goes to Flickinger Geoservices Group for actually going out and doing some mitigation there. There's a stream on there, I guess, somewhere.
Yep. Trustee Varian second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great, that's great to get these things knocked off the list. So wetland,
Yeah, there's some
so wet, yeah,
wetlands.
landfill mapping, and then.
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. Anything else for the old business? Is our chip and seal, do we need to say anything about chip and seal and old business?
We did skip one meeting
Oh,
at 10 under zoning. It's under zoning, but Wednesday, the 14th, we have a work session scheduled for
Oh,
meeting
yeah.
with Stark Economic Development,
Todd.
Todd Hawk, and we're going to do that here at the township.
Okay.
So we do need to have a motion for that work session. We won't be making any decisions at it. It's just a work session, and then zoning inspector Brocker will be attending also. So I'll make a motion that we approve the work session for this Wednesday, the 14th at 10 a.m.
Trustee Pugh, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Do you need me at that? Or,
If you want to come, you're more than welcome to.
okay,
It's up to you.
I know I have something at the preschool at 5. What time are you guys meeting?
10 a.m.
Oh, okay.
I thought we were gonna have to go there, and they're coming here, which was
I
great.
actually will be in Steubenville. I will be away.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. Be interested to hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
Do we need to do anything with chip and seal project at this point, or we're on hold until we get bids in, yes?
Yeah, you're on hold to bid. I was just pulling up our public notices. Everything's on there. The chip and seal's on there, the Succosh is on there.
Great.
The public hearing at 8 o'clock is on there for OS 1 and 2, and then your work session that you just approved.
In old business, have we heard anything from the village and the siren? Have they contacted you at all?
Yes. When you voted to go half of it.
Yep.
That next morning, their fiscal officer, Kurt, called me
Okay.
and said they approved to pay it all. And I said, well, we did a little loophole here that they wanted to pay half. And he sent me their purchase order and all, which was the same total that we were working off of. And I said, well, I'm looking at, I know they'll either, he goes, Brian, we're just going to pay for it. I said, well, the township, I believe, will want to pay half of that because of the way they talked.
That's interesting, because I texted the mayor and
Mayor might not know.
he responded. Okay, that's okay.
But,
Well, if you fiscal officers have it figured out, then that's fine.
well, we figured it out to the point of the totals there. And I knew the night before you all had, well, I don't know if Randy was at that meeting, but you approved. Okay, you approved to do half of it. And they had done at their meeting to do the whole thing, no matter what we were doing at that point.
Oh, okay.
Because they had already put the ordinance they put in place right prior to that.
So at 7:37 a.m. Tuesday morning after our meeting, I said, morning, per our meeting last night, trustees agreed to pay for half the siren project. Let me know if you'd like me to contact Staley and get it scheduled. And he said, hi, Cliff, I think we sent word to Staley, are ready to get started. I appreciate the township being willing to help with the costs. Thank you. So,
Or whatever they figure out.
okay, I want to make sure that,
I will go back and say, since Brian posted the bids, he's been getting a couple contacts for the road bids. And I've had 5 different contractors call about bidding on the Succosh Park.
oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow, 5?
yeah, I've
Wow.
got 5 different people.
That's great that the word's out there.
I don't know they're all gonna come in, but.
Yeah, that's
But
good.
5 was getting
great.
that information. Last thing I do want to mention is that we have the upcoming Rotary Festival. The dates got backed up. We're going later in the month of June. It's a Friday and Saturday, the 20th and 21st. And we'd like to see if we can get the fire department to participate again. Kids really like it when they're there.
Where was that at?
It's right at the Fultz Center and behind it there in the field.
Oh, but, okay,
Yeah, it's the community festival.
yes. Yeah, we have that on our calendar.
Okay. You have it the 20th and 21st?
Yes.
Okay. Could you check with them to see if they're gonna do any of their games or not? Because they have some.
The fire department? Okay, I can tell you that Chief Parker and myself will both be on vacation.
This is my correspondence.
But she'll know, just ask if they're gonna, or if they're just gonna be there, or if they're gonna
The
do any.
township is going to be released on a bond. You might be from, I know Randy.
Mhm.
They always send a notice if you want to do anything or contest it.
Oh, okay.
I apologize, but that just come through.
No, that's fine. So 20th and 21st, we're gonna talk to the fire department about the games. You guys are welcome to be out of town. And then we've got some sponsor opportunities here.
Yeah.
Okay, great. The other thing we have here in front of us is a legal notice request for bond release for the CCU construction.
I thought we already did that.
I don't think I got that letter. That's not on the road. That's it's a year 8 permit, at least what I got.
Coshocton, is requesting the following bond release for land affected by coal mine and reclaim, section 12 of Osnaburg
I
Township.
think they just got notified. It's the bond that's over on me.
Oh, is it?
I'm pretty sure.
Are you in section 12?
I'm pretty sure.
I think they just send that out, Randy, like I've seen.
It doesn't
before.
affect it. It doesn't have anything to do with the road.
Yeah, they're already,
It's the actual
the land.
ground.
It's
that
the
they
land,
were-
okay.
So you're
Yeah.
having to release their bond now?
They just notifying that they're
Your land-
applying for
is
it.
your land okay?
Yeah.
All right.
All I
Sounds
know
good.
is something, one guy told me last year, I asked him about, not from them, from the state about doing something. He said, if you do it, he goes, it'll automatically make the bond out to be released. We didn't do anything.
Oh, Oh, okay.
He said you're basically taking on all the responsibility then. And I said, well, I don't want all the responsibility.
No. All right, anything else for the good of the order this evening?
Nope.
Yes, Mr.
I remember what I was gonna.
Oh, man, we almost
No
adjourned.
money, no money.
Oh, well,
involved.
go ahead, proceed.
I'm just wanting to make sure when I can go ahead and start on getting that culvert and catch basin stuff put in our working parks. One thing I don't have right at the moment is the lid. I think we already got everything set up with Brian for the account to be set up there at US Precast, so we can go up there and buy it.
You got Andy paid back on what he is. We
No.
approved that last
Did,
meeting.
did he get paid for the 500 for the catch basin?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah,
did.
we approved
Yes,
the
we did.
payback to Andy, yeah.
I just, Andy got paid, right?
Well, no, I never got I didn't have no bill from Andy. I had a thing on the catch basin, which I thought was part of Parks. So I put it in as added the vendor of US Concrete, whatever. If they sent us a bill direct or if Andy was sending it, either way, Andy was already a part of the vendor approved on the in-kind work.
Okay, so as soon as Andy gets us a bill, he gets paid, because we've already approved that.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
And
We
we'll
just don't
have,
want, we just don't want him to have to wait. 'cause he
next
put out
meeting,
his
we'll
own-
have more detail on when to think about getting started on.
Okay, 'cause he told me he's gonna be really getting busy. He got 3,
Okay.
4 golf courses.
And I
Nothing
may,
he
I'll
He
be,
said he can try to do it when it's even wet out, you know,
right,
Yeah.
I'll
or
be,
something like that.
we'll be talking about it before the meeting, so
Next
Yeah.
meeting.
we're ready to go.
All right, thank you.
All right, trustee Barry moves to adjourn and pay bills.
Griffith seconds.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Keep you on.
I know, I need to go to bed.
Are we off?